In an empty arena, the familiar sounds of basketball are like air to those who breathe the game.
Yeah, I mean, since I can remember, I've been playing basketball. I've had a basketball in my hands, been in a gym.
In fact, hoops is what brought A.J. Plitzuweit to this very spot. The son of former South Dakota women's coach Dawn Plitzuweit first arrived in Vermilion in 2016 and quickly established himself as one of the state's premier prep players. 2 years later, after earning South Dakota Mr. Basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year honors at Vermilion High School, Plitzuweit took his game to Augustana University in Sioux Falls. He played 1 season for the Vikings and was named the NSIC's top freshman. But he couldn't ignore the pull to return to his roots.
I knew I wanted to come home, and to me, Vermilion was home, and the community supported me at a level that I hadn't really felt before. So USD just felt like home, and I wanted to experience that and just come back and play for that home team.
Plitzuweit finally got his chance to play for the Coyotes at the start of the 2020-21 season, and he answered any questions about his ability to compete at the Division I level almost immediately.
That confidence carried me forward because I believed I could play, and I wasn't really listening to what everyone else was saying because I wanted to prove to myself instead of prove to others that I could play at this level. Anytime I could step out on a court and play basketball was a blast, but to share the court with those guys, particularly Stanley that year, was a lot of fun, and we created a bond and a brotherhood that will live on past that year.
Unfortunately, AJ wasn't able to finish what he and his teammates started. On February 27, 2021, Plitzuweit's career and life in general took a very traumatic turn.
South Dakota has the basketball, 2:48 to go in this one.
I remember dribbling up the court, making a double move, and my foot just kind of got caught behind me.
Oh, he fell down. Oh no, he's grabbing his leg. Oh my gosh, AJ Plitzuweit is in a lot of pain, and it is not good. Oh, goodness gracious.
After that, I just remember falling to the ground and, just people hanging around me, hang in there, we're going to get you some help.
The initial feeling was we were just scared because none of us had seen an injury like that, let alone in person, but also just on television. I had never seen an injury like that. And so you see that go down right in front of your eyes. Yeah, you're a little shook up for sure.
The official diagnosis was a dislocated knee, torn ACL, LCL, and hamstring, and a sprained MCL. Recovery time would be 15 to 18 months.
It was a hard pill to swallow at first, and I think at first it didn't really register with me, how long it was really going to be.
There's always speculation or some worry that he would never play again, but immediately we all kind of said to ourselves, if there's one person that can come back from an injury like this and be the same player or close to the same player, it's AJ.
With the support of his family, his teammates, and the USD faithful, Plitzuweit attacked his rehab process with the same determination he had always brought to the floor. The key, he says, was focusing on the small victories along the way.
When I first got the gun back out and got 3 balls in the gun and started shooting in the main gym, I was like, I can really do this. I can really come back from this, and that was the first step where I was really excited about, coming back and playing again.
You saw each week he was able to go a little bit further than the last week, and that was so special to see.
Plitzuweit hit his finish line more than 600 days after the injury, playing in South Dakota's season opener at Wisconsin. Less than 48 hours later, another small victory as AJ returned home to the Sanford Coyote Sports Center.
10 months ago, a year ago, I made a promise that I was going to do whatever I could to come back. For me to be out there, it was amazing.
More amazing still was what happened next. Plitzuweit was almost perfect, pouring in 33 points to lead USD to an 85-77 win over Lipscomb. It was Eric Peterson's first victory as Coyotes head coach. But that night belonged to number 10.
In the locker room, it was hard to keep it together afterwards. They wanted to give me the game ball. I couldn't take the game ball, right? There's one person the game ball should have gone to, and we gave it to AJ.
A lot of coaches would take that ball for themselves, but he was selfless and handed me the ball and gave that moment to me, and that was really something special to me.
That's a tough thing to overcome, and to trust your knee after what had happened. There's not many people that would perform like that in that situation.
I think it was storybook. You got to see a glimpse of A, what he was like before the injury, and B, that he could be that exact same player again.
You know, that moment was something that I'll remember forever, no question.
And joined by Jay Elsen. And, you know, people hear rehab stories like this and they think, oh, you take a year off and you just don't do much and you get back healthy again. But especially in his case, I don't think people realize how grueling that year or more is to come back like this.
600 days, 18 months. I mean, but there was a time not all that long ago where an injury like this would have been it. His career would have been over and there would have been no real thought of him ever coming back. So the fact that he's on the floor at all just goes to show you how far medicine has come and the kind of dedication it takes to work back from the start to the finish here.
Where do you think he's at as far as being back, so to speak? Where does he think he's at?
I'll tell you what, you watch AJ shoot the basketball and it's as pure as it's ever been, right? I mean, he's shooting at over a 40% clip, averaging 11.5 points per game. You know, so those numbers are numbers a lot of guys would take at any point in their career. So coming back from that injury and being able to do that is impressive in its own right. Where I think you can see that he's maybe not what he was just a couple of years ago is in terms of lateral quickness, explosion. Some of those things just aren't quite there. That's not to say he could never get there. It's just right now, it's one spot that stands out to me.
Yeah. And his role has changed a little bit from where it was 2 years ago when he was such a huge scorer on that team when he got hurt as to now. It's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, and granted, 2 years ago he had Stanley Amude that he was working with, and they were as good of and dynamic of a pair as there was in the Summit League, and boy, they were incredible to watch while they were on the floor together. So this team is different, and so that's part of it. But yes, his role has changed, and he's had to spread the wealth a little bit more, and that's just the way they're playing right now. But still, you know, he's still one of those guys. If you need one shot, I think you can still count on 10.
Oh, yeah. Just fun to see him back out there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Great kid, great family, too.
Yes. Appreciate it. Jay Elsen.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.